my god, and we thought the Model Y was being built efficiently with its rear unibody casting piece. Well, it turns out they ain't stopping there, because we got some new reports from Tesla Mag that was recently reported on by Teslarati, and they detailed that at GigaBerlin, they're planning on taking the casting press technology a step further. So the super healthy, super well efficient Model Y we know today with its octovalve, its heat pump, I guess Tesla's not stopping there. They need to go a step further, and that means that the actual front piece of the Model Y will also be part of a casting press, and this of course you can expect to imagine a much more simplified assembly process, and based on the speed of GigaBerlin going up and going online, I imagine that this is going to end up resulting in less manual labor required, which is an awesome thing. That improves on affordability. Of course, that improves on the complexity of the vehicle's design. It could probably help even with weight, because there's less welds, there's less bolts. If you're able to produce parts at the extreme scale and the extreme size that the rear unibody casting press is, which is one of the largest casting presses in the world, they want to keep going, okay? They're not settling for anything. So if they see any single part of the vehicle that could be combined or could be simplified, they're going to keep going further. And that explains a lot based on a lot of the blueprints we've seen of GigaBerlin, indicating that they want to have tons and tons of casting presses at this factory, which really does shed some light on Elon Musk's original statement of saying, you know, a few European automakers had a Model Y from the United States imported to Europe so that they could, you know, reverse engineer it, tear it down, get a look at it. And Elon said on Twitter, that's not the one to look for. What you want to keep your eye out for is the Model Y coming out of GigaBerlin. And it's crazy to think that the Model Ys coming out of Berlin are just midway through 2021, despite the first Model Ys out of the Fremont factory coming out in early 2020. So it's barely even a year later, and Elon saying, you know what, there's going to be a ton of design techniques that are extremely different in that made in Germany Model Y. And I think that this front casting press that we're hearing talked about right now is likely going to be a huge piece of that. That means probably similar to how they redesigned the rear unibody of the Model Y to become one piece, and for the Model 3 it was 70. Just imagine how many pieces we got going on the front of the Model Y that can now be simplified. And of course, this is just what's seeping through the cracks, just little bits and leaks of information. There's probably massive changes coming to the central design of the car and internal upgrades as well. And of course, this just paves the way for my extreme curiosity on how they're going to build more efficiently with the Cybertruck, knowing that the entire exterior of the design doesn't require paint, doesn't require body panels or anything like that. It's just one piece exoskeleton. If this is the type of attention to detail in the fact that Tesla will not stop, they will not quit improving, they will not find ways of, well, you know what, I think we figured it out, I think I like the way it's built, let's just leave it that way. No, they will not rest. They will find ways to make manufacturing better, how to make the car cheaper, and eventually pass that off on to the consumer. Seeing that they're paying this much attention to the casting press for the made in Germany Model Y, even though the factory's not even built yet, says a lot, I think, about the manufacturing of the Cybertruck and how many manufacturing efficiencies we're going to be seeing with that, because there's already a huge amount just on the outside of the car. Can't wait to see what's being changed internally. And once again, congratulations to those of you who are looking to buy the Model Y but live in Europe, because it sounds like you guys are just going to get an insanely better vehicle than what's being built out of the Fremont factory. And I'm sure lots of people who bought their Model Y in America are still very happy with it. You know, internal manufacturing changes doesn't really make that big of a difference, but just from an engineering standpoint, really cool to see a company like Tesla making so many changes that are ever so incremental and ever so small, but they do make a big difference in the long haul. And I'm glad that Tesla, with their vertical integration, is able to foresee, if we're going to be building thousands, if not millions of this car, we better figure out how to do it right and do it first. And I'm glad to see they're implementing that at GigaBerlin. The construction rate there is insane. Buildings are just popping up out of the ground, out of nowhere. So I'm very excited to see it officially come online and for trial production to begin. And what other manufacturing efficiencies do you think Tesla is going to come up with? Feel free to let me know. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.